if you was. The great thing for them, for their defense about that is that's in the past. All the folks on social media and so forth are saying, well, these people are drugged. They're saying they're drugged. Don't forget, it's easy to prove the court of public opinion, but when you get into an actual court, the federal government has approved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And someone just getting on the stand and saying, I was drugged, the defense can ask a very simple question. Where's the drug test?
Sean Diddy Combs is in serious trouble, and it's only getting worse. His legal nightmare just took a brutal hit. His own attorney just quit the case. And not just any lawyer. This is the same guy who once defended one of bin Laden's closest associates.
Lawyers representing Sean Diddy Combs in his trafficking case is quitting. Anthony Rico filed notice in Manhattan federal court.
An attorney representing Sean Diddy Combs in the trafficking case announced that he is stepping down as counsel.
Let that sink in. This attorney has tackled some of the most infamous cases in history. But even he wants nothing to do with Diddy now. That's a huge red flag.
The lawyer might have found out that their client's crimes were much, much worse than they expected. Like so bad that they just can't morally stick with the case and they gotta go. That might be the reason, because as far as we know, you and I, Diddy's crimes are terrible, but his lawyers know much more than what we know. They know how far Diddy might have went. So Anthony, Diddy's lawyer who left, might have seen something he didn't want to see and said, look, I can't even work with bro anymore.
When even the lawyers who defend the so-called indefensible are running for the hills, you know something is off. So what's really going down behind the scenes?
Rico, who was retained by Combs in September, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Combs has 5 other attorneys on his team, end quote. Let me say this.
Because Anthony Rico was someone that Sean Combs was clearly comfortable with. He also grew up in Harlem, and he would often sit next to Sean Combs, kind of keep him calm during court proceedings. And here Rico is now very experienced litigator, represented death row inmates, represented Al-Qaeda defendants, represented cops in the killing of Sean Bell here in New York, an experienced lawyer who now says, for reasons really unknown, that he can no longer.
Why did this powerhouse attorney suddenly bail? And more importantly, what does this mean for Diddy's future? Because let's be real, this is bad. And if you think this is just speculation, think again. Even Stephen A. Smith is out here confirming what everyone's been whispering. This isn't just a lawyer stepping away. This is Diddy's entire public image collapsing in real time. And here's the worst part. When a case like this goes public, the court of public opinion starts shaping the real narrative. Forget the courtroom. Diddy's already losing the battle in the media.
Positive outcome in favor of that client. So that client, if Sean Diddy Combs gets off trafficking and racketeering charges and the jury finds him not guilty months from now and he's able to walk out the courtroom a free man, you know how good that makes those attorneys look?
And right now, the image being painted of him, it's career ending. And get this, the official reason for the attorney's exit? Total BS. Legal insiders are saying one major reason for this disaster is Diddy's own defense strategy. He's out here doubling down, claiming racial persecution, while also implying Cassie was asking for it? Diddy is already in deep trouble, but it's about to get way worse.
Defense have said.
So what the defense has done is they're taking an interesting tack, and I think the legal analysis is becoming fascinating. And they're saying if you look at these videos, this shows a consensual relationship.
Word on the street is that Trump just hinted at dropping the names from Epstein's infamous list straight into the hands of the media. If that happens, game over. Diddy's case is already hanging by a thread, but if his name pops up in that bombshell release, he's done in the court of public opinion. No PR team on earth could spin that disaster. This would be a total nuclear meltdown.
Everybody will be clamoring for the cameras. Every single one of them. They'll be going crazy. They'll all be clamoring for the cameras. So I'm saying all of that to you to say, if that's the case, let's understand what we're talking about here.
And just when you think it can't get crazier, Trump's former Department of Defense Chief of Staff, Kash Patel, just spilled the tea on their potential declassification plans. He straight up suggested that the American public has the right to know. But here's where it gets even wilder. There might be another list. Not just Epstein's, a Diddy list. Yeah, you heard that right. If that thing sees the light of day, it could cause absolute chaos. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Diddy's legal team is getting desperate. Sources confirm his attorneys are pushing hard to force the identities of key witnesses and victims into the open. And legal experts, they are not buying it. They claim Diddy needs those names to prepare for trial. But let's be real. Many are calling this what it really is, a straight-up intimidation tactic. And the prosecution? They shut that down fast. They fired back with a blistering response, making one thing crystal clear: given Diddy's history of alleged witness tampering, this was never going to fly. But here's the most chilling part. Sources close to the case say that when Diddy was applying for bail, his alleged victims were literally terrified at the thought of him walking free. They were shaking at the mere possibility. So here's the question. If your own accusers are this afraid, what does that say about you? And honestly, who could blame them? Court documents paint a terrifying picture of Diddy's alleged history, using his power, connections, and deep pockets to silence anyone who dares speak against him. Now imagine being a witness in this case, and knowing he could be walking the streets while having your name in his hands. That's a nightmare come to life. This is exactly why prosecutors fought so hard to keep witness identities under wraps. If they were this terrified at just the thought of him getting bail, imagine the absolute devastation if their names were leaked before trial. But here's the thing. Despite the fear, these witnesses, they're done staying silent. After years of being suppressed, the dam is breaking. And now, industry insiders, people who have worked side by side with Diddy, are coming forward with explosive allegations. And what they're revealing? It's beyond disturbing. Multiple sources with direct knowledge say Diddy routinely arranged for women to be flown in to his studio sessions for one reason only, and it wasn't for music. And just when you thought the legal firestorm couldn't get worse, boom, a new wave of lawsuits just dropped. Monday was a bad day for Diddy. He was slapped with at least 6 fresh lawsuits in federal court, each one more disturbing than the last. These filings accuse him of horrific acts against women, men, and even a 16-year-old boy. Let that sink in. This isn't just one accusation. It's a mountain of legal trouble closing in on Diddy, and it's only getting bigger. Diddy can deny all he wants. But at this point, the sheer volume of accusations is impossible to ignore. Court documents lay out a disturbing pattern. Victims allege that Diddy used his fame, power, and the promise of stardom to lure them into his world of lavish parties and private hangouts. But once they arrived, the dream allegedly turned into a nightmare. Some say he brutalized them into submission. Others claim he made chilling threats, warning them that if they didn't comply with his demands, or if they ever dared to speak out, they'd be eliminated. And as for his remaining legal team, they're scrambling hard, desperately trying to shut down the damning video evidence that's allegedly floating around. But with every passing day, their options are vanishing, just like Diddy's reputation. But the secrets just won't stop spilling. Remember that Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties? Turns out they seized baby oil. And let's just say, the implications behind that are raising a lot of eyebrows. And if that wasn't enough, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, is back with more bombshell claims. This time, he's dropping shocking allegations that could completely rewrite hip-hop history. Deal is now suggesting that Diddy might have had connections to the incident that took Notorious B.I.G.'s life. Let that sink in. Now, while these explosive claims about Biggie's death might seem separate from the assault allegations, they could end up shaking Diddy's trial in ways nobody saw coming. At this point, the cards are stacked high against Diddy. His attorney Rico clearly saw the writing on the wall and jumped ship before it completely sank. And with each passing day, the once untouchable music mogul's empire is crumbling, and those who stayed silent for years, They're finally speaking up. At this point, Diddy's empire is falling apart in real time. The accusations, the legal battles, the secrets spilling out, it's all unraveling faster than anyone could have imagined. And with every new revelation, the question isn't just about his career anymore. It's about what happens next. Will more industry insiders come forward? Will we finally see the full scope of what's been going on behind closed doors? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So if you're ready to keep up with the truth behind the headlines, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates. Drop a comment below. What do you think will happen next? Will Diddy's empire survive this storm, or is this the final curtain call? Let's talk about it, and I'll see you in the next one.